So yeah, I don't know how to exactly put it into 100% right or wrong for being a furry, because there's the idea of dressing up as a character and dressing up in this stylized way. Is that necessarily a sin? Is that a sin to dress up and pretend to be someone else? No. That's kind of acting, and the argument for furry that I have heard a lot from chat and other people is that it is like cosplay. So if it's like a cosplay where you're just dressing up and like chilling out, I guess there's that thing. But the problem with a furry that I see is that a furry is someone that are either running the line of attraction to animals or running the line of attraction to anthropomorphized animals. And then we have obviously the people that actually have sex with each other in fursuits, and the people that believe themselves to be animals, the Therians. The people that sleep with each other dressed up as fursuits. I think that obviously sex outside of marriage is a sin. And if you are attracted and sexually attracted to people that are dressed up as animals or pretending to be animals, there's some of that degradation, that lunacy in that action that is also sinful. So that is, I would consider a sin, and everything that I understand from the Bible is that to be a sin. And obviously, being a Therian, pretending to be an animal, thinking you're an animal. There is an instance where King Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible is cursed for 7 years to act like an animal, act like a cow. And it was a punishment for him being a not good follower of God and kind of rebelling against him. I think it's Nebuchadnezzar, right? I'm gonna look it up. Daniel 4. All right. So, give me 1 second. Daniel. Oh, nope, that's Genesis. I need Daniel. Wrong book. Hello? Oh, okay, there it is. All right, so in Daniel chapter 4, Nebuchadnezzar makes a proclamation. King Nebuchadnezzar, to those of every people, nation, and language who live at all the earth, may your prosperity increase. I am pleased to tell you about the miracles and wonders the Most High God has done for me. How great are his miracles and how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an eternal kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. Nebuchadnezzar was at ease in my house and flourishing in my palace. I had a dream and it frightened me. Nebuchadnezzar, while on my bed, the images and visions in my mind alarmed me. So I issued a decree to bring all the wise men of Babylon to me in order that they might make the dream's interpretation known to me. Finally, David, named Belteshazzar, after the name of my God, and the spirit of the holy gods is in him, came before me, I told him the dream. Belteshazzar, head of the diviners, because I know that you have a spirit of the holy gods, and there no mystery puzzle. No mystery puzzles you. Explain to me the visions of my dream that I saw. Oh, crap. 1 second. Okay, good. I can pause that ad. There was a tree in the middle of the earth, and its height was great. The tree grew large and strong. Its tops reached the sky, and it was visible to the end of the earth. Its leaves were beautiful. Its fruit was abundant, and on it was food for all. Wild animals found shelter under it. The birds of the air lived in its branches, and every creature was fed from it. As I was lying in my bed, I also saw in the vision of my mind an observer, a holy one, coming down from the heaven. He called out loudly, "Cut down the tree and chop off its branches, strip off its leaves and scatter its fruits. Let the animals flee from under it, and the birds from its branches. But leave the stump with its roots in the ground, and with a band of iron and bronze around it, in the tender grass of the field. Let him be drenched with dew from the sky, and share the plants of the earth with the animals. Let his mind be changed from that of a man, and let him be given the mind of an animal for 7 periods of time. This word is by decree of the observers. The matter is a command for the holy ones. This is so the living will know that the Most High is ruler over the kingdom of men. He gives to anyone he wants and sets the lowliest of men over it. This is the dream that I, King Nebuchadnezzar, had. Now, Belteshazzar, tell me the interpretation, because none of the wise men of my kingdom can make the interpretation known to me." Then Daniel, whose name is Belteshazzar, was stunned for a moment, and his thought alarmed him. The king said, "Belteshazzar, don't let the dream or its interpretation alarm you." Belteshazzar answered, "My lord, may the dream apply to those who hate you, and its interpretation to your enemies. The tree you saw, which grew large and strong, whose top reached to the sky and was visible to all the earth, whose leaves were beautiful and its fruit abundant, and on it was food for all. Under it the wild animals lived, and in its branches the birds of the air lived. That tree is you, the king, for you have become great and strong." The king saw an observer, a holy one, coming down from heaven and saying, "Cut down the tree and destroy it, but leave the stump with its roots in the ground and with a band of iron and bronze around it, in its tender grass of a field. Let him be drenched with dew from the sky and share food with the wild animals for 7 periods of time. This is the interpretation, your majesty, and this is the sentence of the Most High that he has been passed down against my lord, the king. You will be driven away from people to live with the wild animals. You will feed on grass like cattle and be drenched with dew from sky for 7 periods of time, until you acknowledge that the Most High is ruler over the kingdom of men, and he gives to anyone he wants. As for the command to leave the tree stump with its roots, your kingdom will be restored to you as soon as you acknowledge that heaven rules." All right, so basically, this story then goes on to exactly that. Nebuchadnezzar gets, becomes like an animal, eats food like an animal, becomes unclean like an animal, and does that for 7 years. That is the only known time in the Bible where a man is cursed to act like an animal. And in so doing, I believe, and I think it is a very apparent to anyone that is of Christian value, or I think that it should be apparent, is that in trying to become like an animal, you are becoming cursed. You are throwing aside the values that you as a human have, the honor, the emotions, the joy, the love, the patience, the envy, the anger, the grief, the jealousy, all of the emotions that are human. You are throwing that aside because the animal does not have that. And you are basically saying that you are no longer anything of value. Because what do we have with animals? Animals have value insofar as we view them to have value. Animals don't have any value of themselves. And if you view yourself that of an animal, then you're not going to have value or heart. If you throw aside what makes you human, you're throwing aside what God made you. And that's why I think as a Christian, you cannot be a furry. And of course, there's the argument that being a furry isn't any of those things, that it's just dressing up and cosplaying as an animal. Well, yeah, but what does that sometimes lead to? Going down that rabbit hole. If you let something start, it's going to snowball. If you tame it and control it and discipline it, it will not. But I don't think a lot of people that are furries or pretending to be animals are really disciplining themselves with things like that. So that's my thought on furries. I guess let me know what you think. I'm gonna still do more research and more thought, but that as of 2023, these are my thoughts of March 2023. These are my thoughts, and this is what I understand from Scripture. If you have any other thoughts or comments, let me know in the comments. If you want to come talk to me on stream about it, go right ahead. I stream over on twitch.tv/unchangingjimmy. Link will be below. And we can, have a fun time. I'll either be struggling to get to 300 elo in chess or be playing some other game. Or doing something else. Got some different things planned. But until then, peace, good luck, goodbye.